And here we are again, folks, with my Bitcoin tie on. You know, at the last second, I was going to go tieless. I put the Bitcoin tie on. I said, I still believe in you, Bitcoin. I still believe. I'm going to talk a lot about conviction today. I'm going to talk a lot about how I got where I'm at. We're going to break down kind of the mental toughness that's going to be needed to get through the next year and a half. And we're just going to push through. And there's no other option. What options do we have? We could turn around and go back to fiat, right? I am considering going to start trading the stock market more because there definitely was more opportunity around the stock the last 4 or 5 months. I met the company I ran at Bitcoin Miami, I think, 2 years ago. I have a hat and a shirt I ran. I look at it every day. I was wearing the shirt yesterday, and I ran is up like 10x in the last 3 months. But I never made a dime. You know, I am in Mara. Mara has been pumping, which, thank the Lord, I may finally get out of Mara before Bitcoin tanks. I don't know what's happening, but we're going to see what's happening and break it down. Shout out to Marcus in the house. Shout out to Drew Down. Shout out to Vincenzo, Dr. Burns. trade 446. And I got this back up and running and working correctly. Everything is doing its thing. Yeah, so, I have a Webull account. I'm going to give you guys the link to it if you want to open it up. I will get commissions from Webull. I don't know how big they are. I've never really looked into it. And I'll probably talk to my team. Maybe there's a better, maybe we'll have a meeting with like an actual company that does stocks or something, But yeah, man, I'm just going to look into it. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. I think I say you should be taking this financial advice. But I'm going to look over the technical analysis on a daily basis and go over different ideas. All right. Shout out to all the shorts making money, banging on them to the downside. And the shorts just continue to dump, and it just looks likely. It doesn't look amazing here for Bitcoin, right? It's been kind of up and down here, too, on this 15-minute flag. That's kind of all we've been looking at today, this cup and handle on the smaller time frame, right? It's this or nothing. And at the same, to me, I just, I'll break it down. We'll talk about it. But, there's always opportunity. There was opportunity to short the market and make massive gains. I asked myself, too, my whole strategy is the 200 moving average. And when the 1 hour lost to 200, why don't I just open up a short? You know what I mean? But the thing is, it happened so fast. Like, that was just insane. Look, if you look at how that short played out, like, we were chilling at 121,000, like, 8 hours later, we're sitting there at 113, and then just boom. I mean, it was kind of like, and it happened on Friday. Wow, like when you really, I never really realized it. Like we were sitting at 120,000. I'm beating myself up about not, it's like, but we did lose the 200 moving average. We were in a bear flag. And it's funny, I even drew this out. I drew this out, right? And it said we were going 118.5 or something. 117, 118.5. Maybe I made it smaller. I don't know. But there's a short of me doing this that my team put out. And I'm like, or I'm on X talking about, I mean, that's a bear flag below the 200 moving average, right? Like my strategy says bearish. And then boom. But it also says when you get this far, when the 21's away from the 200, like you would get a reversal, which we did get. Like we fought for it. And then to me, I figured, because the thing is, I think I was getting pompous too. Let's be honest. I caught this reversal here. I called the bottom when we got above the 15-minute 200. I was like, all right, let's play the flat. You know what I mean? And I was correct, and we nailed it. And then the same thing, I called the bottom again, 109.3, I got in. I mean, it was lower, it went away, but I got in at 109.3 right there at this level. You guys remember this, it was crazy, right? At the last minute, I was just like, inverted Bart Simpson. I went so heavy, I still can't believe it. It's paid for this whole month, and even some of the losses I took this week, I'm still up because this was just such an awesome. And then the pump happened, and then just the whole move, the whole time I was in Singapore. Had I left the trade I opened there, I think I would have made 80, maybe 100K if I just left this trade open that I had on the whole time. But I went in and out. Point is, then we made the flag on the, here again. Let's go to the 15-minute actually. But then we made the flag on the 15-minute right here, right? And boom, like we were gone. So I called the bottom, found the flag, and boom. And so then I called the bottom here. I found the flag, and honestly, I was like pretty, with huge accuracy. I was like, oh, I got this. Like I had been so right so many times, right? So I was like, oh. And I definitely long this because I was like, why wouldn't I long this? Like it hits every time. It's like, it's the golden child. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny, when my system doesn't play out, it's rare. It's like, I'd say it's like 2 out of 10 times this. So when it doesn't happen, I'm like, oh. My mind's like, it's like trader bot doesn't understand why trade didn't hit. Sam bot activated. Dude, so cool how the color of the tie matches the color of the VRVP. Really brings you in, right? That's amazing. And I should have got the orange pocket square. Maybe I'll ask my wife to bring it in. The dual color, the orange pocket square would pop, right? I was going to go run and get it at the last second. You guys don't want me to go get it, do you? Like, is it okay? Should I go get it, or should I stay here and do the charts? What do you guys think? Should I get the square? I got 80. I have autism. I'm slightly on the spectrum, as you can tell. Can barely talk sometimes. But you guys still support me and love me, which is insane. Even though I'm out of my mind insane. I appreciate it. Because without you guys, I'd be on the street homeless probably because nobody wanted me. I wasn't the best. You know what I mean? I worked hard, but just people never understood me. I probably wouldn't have been on the street, but you know what I'm saying. I just definitely felt misunderstood. So anyway, it failed. My beautiful, 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 lovely, and look, it was everything. I remember we had the right shoulder, and then they just like, no. And look, the second we lost the 200 moving average, you short with your stop above here. That's what my system tells, and I should have just remained in a short this whole time. I'm not great at it yet. I'm just not there yet. You know what I mean? I can show, for the crazy, this is what I don't understand, and this is what maybe you guys can help me figure out. So, I was shorting the market here like a boss. I was longing, shorting, longing, shorting, longing, shorting, longing, shorting, sometimes longing, shorting in the same day. I never shorted so well leverage in my life here. Then we got this massive uptrend, right? And then here, some shorts, a little bit of shorts, boom, we got the dump. And then I'm looking for the bottom. And I snatch, and I snatch, and I snatch. And then boom, right? We get the massive move to the upside. And at this point, ever since we started this bigger run, I just had a hard time. Every time I went to short, I just I guess because I saw so many times the shorts get absolutely plastered and I made so much money on it that my mind would always be like, you know what I mean? I saw so many short squeezes that I started questioning why I take this short, right? So I missed out on some good shorts at the top there, I did, but I would even scalp some of those days, right? So even when we dumped, I'd scalp the market. But now here we are, and there's my signal there too. Losing the 200, but there was a chance. We got bullish right there. And there was a chance that we were going to do the thing. It looked beautiful. So we got the nasty wick. We came back up. We made it, and it looked like okay. And the funny thing is, too, if you listen to the whole world, which I wasn't, I was looking at the TA, because once we lost the 200, I was a bear. You can see the roundedness of it. But everyone on Twitter, oh, this is the bounce, 125K and beyond. This is what they just said it with no remorse. Tons and tons of people just say, oh yeah, we'll be on our all-time high before you know it. I said, usually if we dump pretty fast, we could pump up pretty fast. I said, but we got to get above some key levels first, right? It's Bitcoin has to break back above, So anyway, we're going to look at the monthly candle, which is closing now in 13 or 14 days on Halloween's. Crazy manipulation these days, Sam. It doesn't make. I still think we have lower to go. Today, some green candles might give us a small bounce. I have no idea what's going to happen. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. And the more I do that, the better off I am, over time. So if we are in some type of macro hyper cycle too, the 21 on the monthly will kind of keep the cycle going, right? But the further it gets away from its moving averages, you know what I mean? That's an extension. And that's how, I kept telling everyone too, this is exactly how every bear market began, is a bearish div away from a 21 on a bigger time frame. And you have bearish div on the monthly. But usually you get into here where you get the shade region bearish div too. So I was looking for a more harsh divergence, which we may still get, but So you could still say, okay, maybe this is it and we're going to bounce. We're just testing monthly support at 102,500. Okay. That's like the hopium copium here. That's your last, your last throw out. You're out there swimming in the water. You missed the first life thing. Someone's throwing another life preserver out there. They just threw that little circle thing. Just, whoo. It's right there. This is the last little life preserver. Right there. A little life. It's floating for you. So, okay. Monthly closes above these two candles. It's monthly resistance, which acts as support. We get some type of bounce. We turn it into some type of flag. Bitcoin still breaks out. Okay, okay. Okay. Maybe. You see, I'm just painting a picture for you that is a possible picture of bullishness. Because everyone wants to say how, but how's it going to happen? Because price action has to move through some type of cycle. It's not just going to go from here to here, right? It doesn't just disappear and arrive over here, right? It has to fight through space and time to get where it's going, which is crazy, but it's true. Now, we know if the monthly candle closes below this yellow line, I mean, how are you not going to come test right there, 92K? And then possibly even 81,000. It just, these levels just start to look very likely. 21-day moving average at least, which looks like it would be somewhere around $91,000. And look, the stochastics are pointing down. RSI is pointing down. Bearish divergence. Everything that I teach on the 1 minute, on the weekly, on the daily, we go over this all the time. That's all bear, right? This was tweezer topped. I said that was the most bearish thing ever, right? I said maybe we can win though, because I showed that Dow Jones. Remember the Dow Jones that did that one? But still sketchy business, right? When you have to kind of like look for one final thing throughout the market. 2-week chart, that's going to close bearish engulfing in 9 days. And the indecision doji, that's bearish, right? A doji star. 3-day chart, three red soldiers, right? And completed by the 4th. And clearly broke the trend line. Like you can't, you can say, whatever you'd like, but that's outside now. And once you break trend, you usually head to the 200 moving average, right? So it's telling me that there's likely could be a move here. You got it. Sorry. And 2-3 years from now, you're going to be watching me, and this is all going to make sense. Right now, some people are watching me, and they're pissed at me. They're uncomfortable. They're saying, "Man, Lifer is a bear," and I'm not. I'm going over the hard facts of reality of where we could likely go, based on what we're looking at. We just have to go. This is just how it is. I mean, we got resistance. 109 is now a heavy resistance. It was such strong resistance, and then it was such good support. Losing 109 is to me sad. It's like losing a dear friend. Like we had 109. Like me and you, we were in Paris. Me and 109, we were in the top of the Eiffel Tower together, smooching, close. And 109's gone now. Like 109 is, my sweet, sweet love of 109. Gone forever. No, I hope not. I hope 109 comes back to me. But right now, like, she's gone forever. You know what I mean? It just, and I'm making a joke of it all, but it is what it is, right? But I got a story to tell. And so the 3-day chart down to the 200 moving average starts to look very likely when you see what's happening here. Now, could we just get a V-shaped recovery, change the game? Oh, all of a sudden everything's great. And, maybe this is a bear trap. I would love it to be, me of all people. Can you imagine how much I lost in net worth in the last, in 12 days? It was just, I was flying high. I was the richest I had ever been in my life. Just October 4th, Saturday there. Friday actually, right? Friday the 10th, the day I came in, which was Monday or Sunday or Tuesday. I don't even know, man. The days all blended together, but Tuesday the 7th, right, was the day I flew in. Yeah. The richest I'd ever been in my life. You see what I'm saying? Euphoria like you wouldn't believe, right? Just like, wow, like coming back from a trip from Singapore, like felt like I had ruled the world, man. My daughter had just turned, it was just like everything was amazing. Came home to my wife and kids. Everything was rocking. It looked like Bitcoin was headed to 160K, and we had finally won. All coins were going to follow, and we were done. We were done. I was like, man, I made it through the hardest altcoin season of my life. You see what I'm saying? And boom. And next thing you know, we have issues, which is crazy to me. Which is crazy. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here and sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. We love you guys, and we know that this is probably one of the most difficult times. But, I'm going to tell you guys some cool stories, and I'm going to talk about how I made it here today where I'm at. And it's all going to come in, it makes sense. Like, I had an epiphany this morning as I was getting ready for the show, and I said, man, I know exactly what I want to discuss today. So anyway, you have to start looking at the 3-day. I'm a moving average guy. Once you lose the daily 200 moving average, if you can't get it back in the next couple days, like if we can't tweezer bottom here, if we can't get this back, then you're headed down to the 2-day 200 moving average. And if you lose that, you're headed down to the 3-day, then the 4-day, and then, then you start talking about the weekly and such. But that's just, you know what I mean? And look, you lose a high volume node, and then look, you got a bunch of liquidity down at 67,000 too. So I'm just showing you where we could go. I'm not saying we're guaranteed to dump there, but when you start getting into the perma bull phase, like nothing can hurt you, and it has to keep going up. And man, it's funny. I said short every single local high. Like every time we made a local high, it was a perfect short. Kind of crazy. But there's now more opportunity. If we continue to dump down here, there's going to be beautiful bear flags. And basically the system's going to show you how to trade the same way. Remember when these are bunched up, we head to the 200 moving average. So just like I just kind of see things for what they are, not for what I want them to be. When I desire what I want Bitcoin to be, then yeah, it's going to go up tomorrow. Green candles are coming. This is just a fake out. We're on the way to the upside. But, if you told yourself that here, you just keep getting rocked, And look, let's take a look at the daily time frame. Yesterday, we talked about this being a shoulder, a head and a right shoulder. I said it doesn't have to be a perfect, and we talked about, look at that. $93,000. So you're getting what I say is confluence. And sad to say, like the daily 200 moving average looked like it was going to hold last night. I longed it. We had a green candle, tweezer tops. I basically front ran the tweezer bottom, and we didn't get it. I took a $700 L. It was just like, dang, man, I tried to go at it yet again. And we'll look at price action right now. So this looks like it's going lower too. Possibly to 93, 102,000. And you can't say on this channel we weren't showing you the bearish tones. Like we weren't like, I go to a lot of people on Twitter and they're just like, you're going to be richer than you've ever been next week. Like, Bitcoin will be 180K by the end of December. It's just like, what are you talking about? Like maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know. It would be awesome. Like this is great, but like it will have to get back above the moving averages first. So I'm just going to play it the way I see it and go from there. There's nothing else we can do, folks. You or me. So again, rejection by the 200 moving average. The 21 broke below. That's what's called a pre-death cross too. I've ordained that name, 8 hour attempting some type of bullish div, as this could swing up or swing flat, like exaggerated bullish div technically in a way, but man, it's tough. The 4 hour made the shoulder head in the shoulder like we talked about the day before. We're waiting for the dump, and then we just, and it did it, and if you just taken, the short right there on the right shoulder, and then taking it to the measured move. Look at that. It's a beautiful short to the downside. And that 4 hour now looks like it wants to continue down. Just, that's, you could dump a lot when the stochastics cross the dotted line there. And you're just getting here on the RSI. And that's kind of a parabolic. That's parabolic the other way. When you draw your parabola up, you can draw your parabola down. That's the parabola the other way, right? Flip that. You can see how that's a dumpage, So I'm starting to see a cascade down likely to the 90s. It just looks like it's the most likely scenario. I could be wrong, of course, and I hate to be the bearer of bearish news, but it definitely looks like there could be a cascade here. Look at that. See how you got a bearish engulfing on the 1 hour and you're rolling over, and you kind of got yourself into a bit of a bear flag here, no? And it also looks to me like a slanted head and shoulder. Like you got this little, I've seen this play out, and it plays out like a head and shoulder to the downside. These both are telling me 100K is coming. They get you to 105. Why wouldn't they take you to 100,000, you know? Fear and greed at 22. And I definitely, you know, I bought some Bitcoin yesterday. Definitely time to DCA, but it looks like, hey, are we going to 15? Are we going to 9? Are we going to 10? It takes a lot of fear to get us to 10, 9. Like, so they're going to have to basically detonate the market. At that point, I don't know how much selling will be left. That's the only thing. So the upside to this is if we had a real bear market for Bitcoin, you see what I'm saying? Like, this is halfway through already. Like, they're pretty much like, this is like a quarter of it. I mean, look, it's taken a massive correction too. How big of a correction? It takes 20% corrections a lot. Right now, it's at a 16% correction from the top. 17, you know? If it goes all the way to the 90s, I mean, you're talking to 20. That's like the biggest correction it takes in a bull, even in bull runs. It takes 20, 25% corrections. It's done it. It wouldn't be unheard of, you see? And it would just find out, you know, how many people really like to buy around that price. How fast we bounce back to 100K would give us a big, you know, would really indicate a lot about the market. We bounce back above 100K strong. It's like that would kind of say, okay, we're likely never go below it again. We fuddle around and play the 80s and 90s and did, you know what I mean? And then you start thinking, hey, 74, 78. And so you got to be open-minded for this, because if you're not, right? So look at two people. It's the Bitcoin Expedition Awards, let's just say. And it's who can get more Bitcoin. It's two guys, and they're going against each other. And one guy starts looking at the fact that we could go lower. And so he gets another job on the side and starts hustling even more to put money aside, because he knows maybe he doesn't have money. He doesn't want to sell his Bitcoin. He doesn't have any capital left. He's heavily, so what he does is he does something else on the side to produce more capital. Something, whatever he can do. A couple things a week, if it's just a couple days a week of a part, whatever he can do, helping out somebody, whatever it is. And he dedicates that money to stack, and he stacks, and he waits. And as Bitcoin starts to dump, he starts DCAing those little stacks, right? Now, if he doesn't believe anything is possible, and he's like, oh, it's always going up, then it's going to be impossible to take advantage of those areas. So the squirrel, like, yeah, and I tell everyone too, like, and this is where we're going to get into story time in a second, and we're going to talk about like what it means to be a crypto lifer, right? Because everyone wants to be a crypto lifer, but they don't want to be here in the pain. They don't want to be here in the days when it's really nasty. They don't want to be days here when it's just like, when it seems almost impossible to swallow the truth. Like, today isn't easy, right? Let's be honest. No one wants to see Bitcoin doing this at 105. Is anybody super, super happy? I mean, some people are. I get there's some people here that have, okay, let's talk about it too. The viewership. I've been in crypto a long time, right? I'm getting into my 10th year now. Okay, next year will be my 10th year in cryptocurrency. I got in late 2016. All right, so 9 years I've been in cryptocurrency. So I see crypto as someone that's been in it for a long, long time, right? I have to, and then let's look at my channel and people who are watching today. They're watching my live stream today. You guys, you know, you right now, who you are. You know, I'm finding out who you are today, right? So you're watching my channel. Let's divide you, you know, let's say a third of you have been in crypto almost as long as me, maybe another third, maybe a few years. And there might be a third or maybe a 20% of people that have just got in the last month. And of those people, let's divide those by 3. There might be someone that got in last week. There might be someone that just hit the thing for the first time right now. I might be the first thing they ever saw about cryptocurrency. They're on YouTube and it just, you know, it recommends them. They click on it and bang. Next thing you know, they're like, who is this guy with this thing, this tie and the voice? I want to know more. He's talking about crypto, right? And so this could be their first exploratory moment for cryptocurrency. So always remember, no matter where you are or where I am in the cycle too, like we're out there every day in the general internet as another subject matter that people are reviewing and Googling, you know, which kind of makes you realize that over time Bitcoin will stay relevant and so will cryptocurrency. And it's not a dinosaur, you know. It's a moving subject matter that will only continue to grow and get researched and Googled and continue to, people are going to learn about it and click on a link and it's going to grow. So we're going to have ups and downs, but in the long run, 5 years from now. So my point is now to this, just a quick story time, and then we're back to the charts, because I know it's like, oh my gosh, and I don't want to destroy the moment here of what's happening. But the idea behind it all is this. I got into Bitcoin, let's say 9 years ago. It's 8 years ago, right? And I had a long-term vision and a plan that played out over time, and there was days way worse than today. Remember, I was in Bitcoin when it went to 19 and it went all the way down to $3,000, right? And I somehow never sold Bitcoin then, and I stay convicted in it. And so I tell myself, somehow I made it from the 20 to 3K and I'm here. And so I can make it from 126 to 80K to 70K, even to 60K if that's what they're going to do, whatever they're going to do. I'm ready for it, right? Because I made it from the beginnings. I said to myself, if Bitcoin never goes below $50,000 ever again, I'll be, I'll never stress it. I'll never stress, if it starts to lose 50K, then to me, it's, I don't know what's happening at that point. It's kind of was like, I waited so long but again, I don't want to get into that. We'll see. And you never know. That's the sad thing too. At the end of the day, if I'm a pioneer, I'm someone that went and, invested in something pretty new and interesting. And, there was no guarantee that anything was going to be exactly what it was, right? I knew I'm a new age futurist taking a shot, right? No, and again, nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. Like, this is a reality show about my life, kind of how I do it, what I'm doing every single day, and you guys just kind of see how I get through the ups and downs of the market. Some days I call it great, some days I don't, right? I never said I was perfect, and I never planned on being, and I know I'm not. I ask God every day for forgiveness for any of my faulties in life and what I do, but I aim to be as decent of a honorable human being as I can and represent my mom and dad the best I can. All right. But yeah. And God rest my mother and father. If you didn't know, my mom and dad died. Yeah, they passed away in the last year and a half. My mom died about a year and 7-8 months ago now, or almost 2 years ago, actually. And my dad died 2 years and a few months ago, which seems like yesterday, but it's been while time is passing. Both died unexpectedly, 7 months apart. My mom died on Thanksgiving Day while she was talking to me. She had a stroke, and then it took her 4 days to die in a coma. It was tough. Yeah, and I never missed a live stream during that. We were doing we were just, I had to do what I had to do. Anyway, blessings to everybody out here. I don't mean to get you down, and please don't click away. I'm not going to sit here and cry. I'm able to talk about it today. Somehow, some days I can't talk about it. I choke up, but other days I can. I don't understand the reasons for that. Today's a day I can kind of look it right in the face and just kind of go right into the charts, but I don't think does that make me heartless? I don't know. But it is what it is, right? So whenever I see Bitcoin dumping, whenever I see the price action destroying my financial future, I think about my life with my mom, and I think about, losing. See, I don't want to get there, yeah, but you know what I mean. I compare myself to the loss of my mom, and like when I think of money going up and down, I kind of giggle. I literally start to laugh. I go, because to me, it's like, wow, that's not that bad. You know what I mean? It's almost a soothing pain. Like, oh, wow, I'll take that pain. I'll take the pain of losing money all day if it can stop me from feeling the pain of losing my mom. Kind of crazy, right? Anyway, I just went deep into the mind of men and women there. I didn't even realize. But anyway, moving on. I'm not trying to psychoanalyze myself on camera anymore. Could we cup and handle our way out of here on the 15-minute time frame? Can Bitcoin, somehow, eventually get out of this mess? Right? Are we destined for more dump side for BTC? So let's take a look. The daily is getting pretty oversold, but could go for more, as we've talked about. And I'm looking at that 2-day 200 moving average and possibly 102,000 for Bitcoin, right? And I kind of had it zoomed in here, I guess, as I was talking. And I made this bear flag here on the 1 hour. Like, it looks like it's attempting to make an ascending triangle of some type on the 15 minute, the 30 minute, you know. And that would have a measured move down to 100,000, 800, 100,000, 700 area, right? But could you cup and handle your way out on the 15? I'm just looking at it. You know, there's a, you know, it looks like it has some potential. And again, I'm always just, you know, the hopium guy showing the possibilities of bullishness. But, you know, the more likelihood is that you're going to get tight like this. Moving averages bunch up. The 200 comes, and then, like, you just get flattened by the 200 again, right? Just like in bullish times, you'll use the 200 for support. In bearish times, you'll use it as resistance. And those Stokes look like they want to take a tumble too. So, like, and it might even just roll over there, look at kind of shoulder, head, right shoulder. Again, I'm more bearish than bullish yet again. The smart thing to do is, like, not catch the bottom anymore, because I've been trying to do that, and trust me, it didn't work last night. It didn't work earlier. So I'd be careful. And I'm pretty good at sniping the bottom, so if I'm having trouble, then it means a lot of people are getting massively liquidated. So I would be careful. Again, maybe not. Maybe I'm not the great. Who knows? I never, you know, I'm not comparing myself to anyone but myself in this journey of trading. So can we get back above this 200 moving average on the 15? Can we get back above resistance? Like, that to me, like, if you can't get back above 109, I see no real reason to long the market. You know, that would all just be a fake out. And probably, you know, so for me, I just see us likely going down to 100,007. And, you know, and I'm more bullish, always looking okay. But again, let's see. Let's watch what happens. We all know what has to happen, right? We've gone over this every day on my channel for hundreds of days, maybe thousands. What is the first thing that has to happen, everybody? Shout out to Face, man. I remember yesterday, man, I said it was tight, and I made a very tiny long. I made a tiny long because I love you, and, like, my heart is like, I'm a sucker for love. You know that, man, right? And I consider you a brother. Like, if you went into war, I'd go to war with you, bro. You know what I mean? Like Crypto Face and Braveheart, Sammy Leifer, like, you know, don't take my brother. No, like, you know what I mean? I get too loyal, but you've been cool, and I appreciate it. And you didn't have to be nice to me from Adam. And you've been cool. So to me, you know, I woke up this morning and, like, honestly, you were the first thing that I thought about. I was like, man, but I appreciate you, man. And you know what? 2-3 years from now, I'll be here, you'll be here. And that's the difference between me and you and a lot of other people. So it is what it is, bro. Like, relentless. You're a relentless warrior, man. And that's why people love you. At the end of the day, you can say whatever you want. You can do whatever. Up and down, like, we can lose, we can win, but you're a relentless warrior, brother. You know, you stood the test of time for a long time, and so that's why people love you the most. That's, you know, I don't know. No one has to go live every single day like I do. I'm an obsessive person. I have like it's kind of a tick I have. Like, that's just different. I'm mentally deranged, but you know what I mean. You've been there through ups and downs all day long. So anyway, shout out to Well Salvador, man. God bless you, brother. Yeah. The 5 minute needs to get above the 200 moving average. Yes, exactly. The 1 minute. I was going to say the 1 minute. The first thing that has to happen is the 1 minute. Nice little spike up there for price again, back to the 105. But all they did, look, they're just going to snatch. They're going to go after anyone who's lev trading right now. Like, it's slim pickings on lever trading. Less and less people are able to do it. Thank you for the kind words. The words are just true. I may seem like I'm buttering you up, but I just like to tell the truth, man. And it's the facts of life, right? The Lifer's Crystal Ball says tether up. Yeah. And honestly, I tethered up the day before the dump. I really did. And, you know, even took a lot of money off exchange. Like, take the money off the exchange, you know? I'm serious. Like, you never know. When it gets slim pickings, you never know, man. You know, I would not leave my money on exchanges. Just, you know, always have a hardware wallet. So there we are, back above the 200 moving average. That's the first thing that has to happen. Look at this. Just Screenshot. And look, oversold in the stochastic. And look, there was a bullish divvy on the indicator telling you, okay. You know what it is? It's hard to see. I know this is insane, but let me show you what it is. It's a hidden inverted head and shoulder. You see how it's like super hidden? But look, there's the Sammy Cup and Handy on the 15-minute. Can we save the day here? Can we finally bottom for Bitcoin? Could this be? It looks very unlikely the way the bigger time frames are positioned. But man, you just never know for Bitcoin. You just never know. Last night was the last of my eval gone. Oh well. It's time for a break. You know, the next time you do an eval, we should do it together, man. I'll Zoom with you and we should do it one step at a time. Sam, I saw every YouTuber selling the crypto and you saying it could go down to 90K. So I opened a very large Bitcoin long using your advice of buying the fear half an hour ago and I'm up 20%. And a very large Bitcoin long using your advice of buying the fear a half an hour ago and I'm up. I mean, you made a crazy leverage trade and you're trying to pat yourself on the back. You know, God bless you, brother. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm super happy. And you're saying you used, you said, and I gave you no advice. So that's not true. All right. I don't give advice. I was just talking about looking at the fear and greed index. I bought Bitcoin yesterday. You know what I mean? I'll buy Bitcoin tomorrow. I'll do whatever I have to do. Right. And I'll DCA down to 50K if I have to. Like right now, I'll start my DCA from 105 to 50,000. You see, that's what I'll start doing. And the deeper we get, the deeper I go in. I'm convinced and convicted that in 10 years, they're going to continue to print more money than they've printed now. And the dollar doesn't have to collapse. It doesn't have to disappear. It actually can continue to grow. But if more and more countries use it, they have to print more of it. And again, that's not the worst thing in the world. All right. If we can expand the GDP, we could balance out the supply. But at the end of the day, it'll never catch up with Bitcoin. And people keep losing it. And, So look, is that a gutsy call to play this head and shoulder pattern here on the cup and handle? It's been getting tough, right? Trading has just been like, oh my gosh, the cup and handle. And you need nothing. You could even trade this no indicators. You could trade this you could trade it clean. Honestly, but I'm so gutsy and I go at these longs and I've been getting rewarded for doing it. Up until, this one didn't work and then this one kind of, a little bit, but that flag, and we just, So you would think, okay, this would be the flag to the upside. Let me analyze it. I got to really deeply analyze it. The coolest thing ever is that we wick back above the 200 moving average on the daily, and we somehow never lose. You see what I'm saying? That would be amazing. We get back above this yellow line right there on the week. See on the daily, that yellow line right there, and we just bounce back into action. It could happen. See, that's the crazy thing about being open-minded is you have to be ready for the unexpected. You have to be ready, and you also have to be ready for what you really, really fear. Deep down inside, do you think I want to see 60,000, 90,000 Bitcoin? Of course not. That would be even a bigger hit on my overall net, But I got myself into Bitcoin a long time ago, and I know it's a volatile asset, and so I had to ask myself if I was ready for what I did, and I know what I'm into. So I have to deal with the ups and downs of BTC, and I have to get over it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I signed up for this. And so, and the same as you, right? If you got into this, it's just, so there's no one to cry to. There's no one to blame. We're in this. I'm in it. I'm a crypto lifer, man. That's it. I'm stuck in it. I'm here. Up and down, down or up. I'm here. If I could get out, I couldn't. You know what I mean? I'm in the Bitcoin mafia. You know what I mean? It's once you're in, kid, you're in for life, right? And that's kind of how it feels. Sam's consistency is truly motivating. Changed my life and mindset. Thank you, sir. God bless you, man. Hey, if you keep pushing every single day, 5 years from now, the brand will be strong. We will be strong. Somehow, some way, we will win. I don't know how. I don't have all the answers. All I know is I've just studied consistent people and they've won. And then I've said, well, how do you stay consistent? I said, well, you break it down into small pieces. Yeah. This is the business we have chosen. 100%, man. It is what it is, bro. You know what I mean? There's nobody to cry to. There's no one here to whine to. This is it, man. God bless you, brother. Thank you so much. God bless you, your brother, your whole family. And, you know, may you have a wonderful night, a wonderful day. Crypto, right on. Look at this guy, giving in times of pain, right? Most people are freaking out. They got liquidated last week. He's chucking $50 at the channel. Unbelievable. And see, givers gain every single time. That will come back to him tenfold. He'll call along tomorrow. Something will happen. He'll hit big. So never count out a consistent person, man, because they're eventually going to come for you. You see what I'm saying? Like, dude, look at this. Every time I want to long it for a split second, I'm just going to put it in for a second. So we'd have to get to 108,320, the cup in handy, and we'd have to be below that crazy wick just because that's what you'd have to do. And that's 104,512. And it is a 3-to-3 risk-reward ratio, and you'd get in somewhere at 330. Look at that. 329, 392 for 1435. I mean, that's a beautiful trade. You know what I mean? That would be a nice little come up on the day. Make $1,400. Do that 10 times this week. Make 14 grand in a week. You see what I'm saying? I mean, it could happen, or a little over a week, but maybe you could do it 10 times in 7 days. It's possible. It's not that big of a move, right? We just need that bump up. I don't know. Let me take a look at the smaller time frames for BTC. Yeah, so 1 minute, see how it's like it just got rejected there by the, so we're just in chop again. And when you're in chop, you have to start believing that you're in a bear flag. We made a lower low on the weekly. In my mind, the bots, people, they've now turned the trend down on themselves. Like the trend is, the probabilities are better to be bearish than bullish at the present moment, sad to say. All right. Again, if it defies everybody and we rip all the way back up, but you'd have to get back. 109 is really it's a problem now. Like you got to get back above 109 or it ain't happening. It ain't happening, right? And this is BTCC looking. So look, I mean, I didn't make the trade. Look at that thing, man. It looked so good until it didn't. You see? So I still see it as this bear flag here. And even if we're in chop, so honestly, if someone really fiends for a long, like you feel like you have to call the bottom or something, I feel like that's how you get wrecked, because you're like, I have to do it. You get obsessed with it, and they know that, so they just keep going. Okay, keep thinking you got the bottom. Keep thinking you got the bottom. And it's just like when people keep shorting the top, and they keep going after them and going after them and going after them. So for me, I just wait. I wait this out. I put my capital on the sidelines. I wait this out. I'm not kidding. Yesterday, look how small ball I played it. I think I lost $700, So I'm not going to lose what I'm making. I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to be stupid. I'll take a shot. I'll risk a portion of what I got each day. I'll take portions of what I made, but I'm not giving it all back. I'll tell you that right now. I've done that way too many times in my life as a trader. I don't need to be a big shot. I don't need to prove anything to anybody out here. And again, I'm competing with myself from yesterday. That's it. There's nobody else that I'm competing with. And the second you can do that, you've changed your life. Because if you compete with everybody else around you, you're never going to find your true self, number one. You're not going to know thyself, right? And again, conquering thyself, Bruce Lee, is the way to conquer the world. To find inner peace within inside of you. The storm is inside. And they always tell you that, but it's true, man. The storm is inside. Most people are losing tons of trades, not because the trading is hard, because the storm is inside of them. I used to lose way more trades. I used to be horrible. I used to just, I couldn't handle day trading because the storm was inside. Now I can see. I have a model. I trade it. If I don't see it, I get out. You see what I'm saying? My dry powder is like a player telling a coach to put me in the game. I know, right? Story time with Drew. Well, sometimes you have to give it some story time, Drew. Just take your capital and say, hey, let me read you a little book, all right? We Found a Hat. You ever read We Found a Hat? Great book. We found a hat. Two turtles find that hat. It's the funniest thing you've ever seen. He's like, I like this hat. Looks good on me. He's like, it looks good on you too. And the dude's like, he's sleeping. He's like, what are you doing? I'm sleeping. And he's not. He's actually going to get the hat. Then he dreams and he's thinking about having the hat without the other dude. And he's like, oh, that'd be mean. And he leaves the hat. You know, it's funny. It's kind of a fun story about, like, if you can't have it with both people, then it's greed. You know, I don't know. It's a story about greed, kind of. It's actually a story about trading in a way because, yeah, there's P to P there, and he decides not to be grimy. Yeah, We Found a Hat. You should read that book, man. I think it's by George Clason. Am I right? We Found a Hat. It's a children's book, but it will change your life. You know what I mean? CryptoFace can't wait to watch your channel next. Probably funny. Can you take 10 positions? Nobody knows where they'll be next year. Only prediction is like a drink cult. Yeah. You said you don't drink coffee. I usually don't. But this week's been stressful, man. And so I don't know. I guess I've been leaning on the caffeine because it's just been like, man, you know. So we're seeing if this can hold off. And if this is a possible move here. I've been so bold every time and it just, nope, bing, bing. And again, there's less people out here. I have to keep reminding myself of that. So it's likely they'll just bing me and then rip it. Or, you know what I mean? There's just so many less people leverage trading too. So it's not about catching the bottom. Here's another cool story. Let's talk about this for a second. Let's talk about price action, right? Massive liquidation comes down, more dumps, right? And you're here somewhere in flags. And you're trying to catch the bottom as a trader, all right? Now, right here, there's so many liquidations that the market is thin. The order book is thin. Basically, there's less people trading here now. They've gotten, you know, the market was frothy here, you know. Once it comes up, it bounces, finds a key level, right? More and more. And now there's going to be so much volume. When there's a lot of volume, what does that mean? And it's kind of this idea. Well, there's a flag that plays out, right? You'll get consolidation. When there's tons of volume, you'll see real greedy people putting their stop losses in here, in here, in here, and here. And there's more greedy people with more liquidity. And so the market maker doesn't even need to break the pattern. He can just like kind of go down here and then he can do what he needs and still get paid. When there's less people in the market, he's got to almost come down and stop hunt to get paid. You see? So that's why you get way more stop hunts in a bear or thinner market. And you get way more bull pennants that break out. And that's why my strategy plays out, right? They don't raid the double bottom. You get the pumps to the upside. All the bullish patterns break out. You get the 68%. And so knowing when to trade patterns and why, even in market cycles, is important. Because right now, the market book is thinner than it was before. So the odds of a flag that I would trade usually are lower now. You know, you almost would have to buy the stop losses and almost even maybe buy retail. It's just, you have to be way more savvy. You have to know a lot more about what you're doing. You have to have far more skills and tactics. Like before, it was like, you know, any man for themselves. You know, it was an easier battle. Now it's way harder. So you have to remember that. When more people get liquidated, the market order book is lighter. And when it's lighter, you stand out more. Just, you know what I mean? Like, it's like I'm one of 100 instead of one of 10,000. It's just some common sense about trading. And it doesn't mean you can't make the trade. It doesn't mean this can't pump. It just says, hey, you know, I would take it lightly. You see what I mean? So look, it's still 392 for 4. Same place too. It's been tough, man. Every time I've went to long, I've got hit off. And it makes me like, man, you only need to win 3 out of 10 though. So, hey, I don't have to, you know, I could lose 7 straight if I have to, but I got to keep the risk management proper. There it is, already bouncing off the low there. 104.595. Look, that's a $1,000 move for Bitcoin already, which is crazy, right? Sammy Cup and Handy, can it do it? Can we get the big... I mean, the stochastics have flipped a little bit. Even the RSI looks interesting. You're telling me there's a chance. I know it's a Friday too, though, so the odds are lower. Low liquidity is fascinating, yeah. Exactly. Buy now, sell in December could be a smart move. How is BOOKMAP? BOOKMAP still has lower liquidity. It still suggests we're going all the way to 95,000. Like, it's getting deeper and deeper, right? BOOKMAP looks bad, looks deep, it doesn't look amazing at all, right? 1055 again. $366 for 1G. We does it agains. All right, let's see what happens here. Immediate downturn. It's like so if I move into limit, so we had 105, 104, 512, right? Yeah, that's right, 379. And we want to go to 108, 322. Yeah, that's right. So there you have it, right? And we'll see. I mean, wow, we're up $30. I'm the king of 3% again. Sammy's back, man. I'm up $44. Can I finally call the bottom here? Who knows, man? It's been such a tough market. They've beaten me mentally down at this point, right? Like day in and day out. You're like, come on, baby. Let's get that short squeeze, man. Everybody's short. The fear is so high. Like, that's some heavy fear, right? But look, I mean, now they're building up 100K as the deep red. Just, man. So this might be one last spike up, and then that's it, right? Like, they kind of create that spike up, and then they bring it up one more time and just smash it. To me, it's still technically inside of like a symmetrical triangle, which is bearish. You see? This is to me the pattern that we're in right now. And it means it's a 50% pattern, and it mainly dumps to the downside. That takes you to 101, and then that would be your leg down to... That would be your leg all the way down to, 100K likely. You see what I'm saying? This to this. Symmetrical triangle. The leg up there takes you to 109. The leg down takes you to like 101.9, 102. This is BTCC. You can trade on BTC, the oldest exchange in the game. Okay? They started in like 2015 or 14. I think 2015. I think even 14. So they've been one of the oldest Bitcoin, oldest Bitcoin exchanges in the game. BTCC. So you could count on them being around for 10 more years. They've been strong, they've been robust, and they plan on expanding and going hard too. So they're not stopping. BTCC, shout out to the team there too. We even have a rep in the trading group too, so it can help you. Anything you need, anything that's going on, they're there. So it's kind of, we have an in-house customer service inside the group. Pretty smart. partnership there with BTCC. So check them out. Find out more if you want to trade with one of the best exchanges in the game. Bitcoin looks like we could make a move out of the cup and handle. This is how bottoms are started. We've got the bullish divvy. Indicator has it too as well. Could we finally get some type of short squeeze? We've gotten minimal, like after the dump, a little bit of a squeeze there, nothing, dump, tiny squeeze, dump, sideways price action, right? So this would be the first time we actually get like maybe a $3,000, $4,000 short squeeze. Yeah. I would be surprised if we go to 120 next week as well. Sam, do you see gold correcting leading to money flow to Bitcoin in April? I don't see anything. I look at the charts. Gold looks strong to me in its own, gold's doing its own thing. Companies are, they can see that there's issues with currency over time. We're pegged to, the US dollar. And, I just think a lot of people are hedging themselves in gold as they do. And it happens, there's just going to be more allocation. Gold's been showing a sign to $4,000 or $5,000 for a long time. It's not like out of nowhere gold's ripping. Like we've been showing that cup and handle on gold for like 4 years now on my channel. I've been talking about the fact that gold's likely going to rip to the upside for a long, long time. Right? Someone said, man, your patience looking for a trade is fascinating. Yeah, I mean, people think they don't have a lot of time on the 1 minute and the 5 minute, but you have all the time in the world. It's up to you. Look, I'm up. Oh, wow, I was up. Well, there we go now. That could close as a bullish engulfing candle. That closes in 4 minutes. So, you're looking for a bullish engulfing candle. That would be bullish engulfing in 4 minutes and 20 seconds. You see that? Now we're up 7% on the trade. 6.7. We'll see. Dwindling and dwindling. And again, the odds are definitely against me. Thin order book Friday. BOOKMAP says it's going to dump in my face. Look at all that liquidity below me. BOOKMAP says we're going to 95,000 after we hit 100K. Look at that. They're loading up. Love you, Sammy. Stay blessed. God bless you. I'll teach y'all how to pan. Thank you, man. You mean the pan, the hand pan? I don't know what that means. Government shutdown ends. UC ETF approvals could be a bounce from there, perhaps. I guess everyone's searching for a catalyst. I don't know if you need a catalyst. You just need the facts and the charts. A lot of people are searching for the news and searching for catalysts, but if you just stick to the charts, it's going to show you what you need to know. All right. Look at the trades back down $8. Wow. Look at the volatility. And I'm at a 50. I mean, I'm at 50. It's a little high. Tough week. Let's reflect. Not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings because we know that suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance, character, in character, hope. Romans 5:3, verse 4. Amazing. Can you show us how to set a multi-week short or a multi-month short? So we can set a short at the top and ride it all the way down to 40K on 10X levy. I mean, it's up to you. You got to know how to do that. That's like emotional, because like the price action is going to go up and down and up and down and up and down. And like, I could show you anything, but like, can you do that? You know what I mean? That's like, it's kind of funny. That's like, can you show me how to drive 200 miles an hour on the Indy 500? Like, I could show you how to do that, but can you do it? I don't know. All right. Shout out to A Supersonic. Shout out to CryptoFace. Shout out to Artie. We shouldn't be looking for Adam and Eve now. Honestly, I would be waiting to get above a moving average on the 15. Like, yeah, to me, that's so smart because it's like, it would take a lot more capital to do that. And if you did that, it would say, hey, there is somewhat of a reversal. Dude, I'm the reversal king. I'm always searching for the bottom. I mean, this is pretty nice. You draw a fib, it looks like that 786 right there too as well. That's it. That's a 618 right there. See it? From this wick to that wick. That's the 618 Fibonacci retracement, and we got a bounce. That's what you're looking for. I mean, the technical is there. 379 for 1,000. It is what it is. You're amazing, Sam. Much love and gratitude. Shout out to the Blues guy. God bless you. Thank you. You're amazing for being nice to me. I can't believe how many people are that nice to me. I really can't believe it. On one of the worst days ever. Look at this. Showered in super chats. Nice people coming through. Extra love and support, man. God bless you all. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so it sounded like queso, right? And I thought of cheese. Oh, queso? And I was like, wow, queso's so good. I mean, who doesn't love queso, right? No. So let's take a look at the total market cap. And I'm going to go do the top-down macro analysis video today. So we're going to kind of revisit this. But, man, and it's doing this, you know, look, it's Bitcoin in a nutshell. But, like, as you can see, even if we have to alter the trend line, you can say, well, it is on this trend line, technically, right? And maybe it has to just come this way. I mean, there is some resistance. It's on support right there, technically. You know, you could do something like this over time, but the only thing is like, what, March, April, May? Like, it's a bit, you know, right? It says there could be more down, up and down, a lot of action. And then you get the move to the upside, like in 27. You see what I'm saying, though? It's like really elongated. But that's the trend line you're on. I mean, I'm just, you know, you gotta respect that. Now, if you went back in time, it doesn't let you do that in total. What would your line of the sand be to say for the bull run over? What key levels would we have to lose? I mean, to me, we're kind of beginning the level, but I would say 100,800, you know? At the same time, like, are we in a super cycle or a large, like, is there no more 4-year cycle? And is Bitcoin, like, turning into a larger asset that just moves with the, you know, I can't, there's a lot of different things going on. What I do, though, is I just play bull and bear. And when you're below a daily 200 moving average, you're bearish. You see? And when you're above a daily 200 moving average, you're bullish. So, like, if total hasn't lost the daily yet, you see this? You know, for whatever reason, the altcoins are kind of keeping Bitcoin a little, Bitcoin's below this yellow line, but total isn't. You know, total is right there on the 200. If total cannot lose that, like, there's a chance we can save the bull run. Like, but that's, you know, for me, that's like my last, you know, when you start losing the 200 moving average on the daily, you're likely headed to that 2-day. And then, like I showed you, the daily, the 2-day and all that. And Bitcoin's kind of beginning this process. So, like, it has till the end of the day to change its mood here. But right now, so far, that's going to be a move below the 200 moving average, right? We're going to need that to change somehow in the next few hours. Again, I'll trade the odds. Look at this. We got a secondary candle. So look, we got a candle to close green. And we're getting a second candle to rise here. And now, look, we're up 10% in the trade. I think that's the most we've ever been up on the trade here. Now 97. Let's see if we can win this puppy, man. Let's go. Look at this. 17%. Finally getting a little bit of green action here. I'll shave my stop loss off a little bit there. Thought I shaved it off. Gosh darn you. I want to move that up there, see? Chance it moves up if I, like, refresh, but I need to see that thing in real time over here. Let's see. Okay, so it does move up, but you gotta, I mean, that's we need that to be super fast, right? My computer's been on all night, but still. Now look, you're up 23%. I'm up 22%. That ain't bad. I mean, this market's so sloppy. You're like, oh, take that 10 times, make 17, walk away. It's just like, because this could easily just turn around and dump in my face. It did it here, did it there. I have lack of faith and follow through on this, but we'll see. You know, it is a cup and handle. It's starting to break out to the upside. It's attempting to do what it's supposed to do here. BTC. Wow, we just hit 106,000. It's like, I haven't seen that. Let's go. And I'm live trading here on BTCC. And I've moved my stop loss. As you can see now, I can only lose 165, half of what I initially planned. And now I'm almost 10 to 1, right? I'm tempting to go to the 1,000. And look at that spike up we got out of the, the little handle there for Bitcoin. And now we should have gotten above the 3-minute 200. We just did. So if you're really keen on this, you're going to watch the 3-minute. A little too far away from the 200. The 21. That's going to have to fan out here and touch that 21 without losing. This just likely looks like it's going to come back. I don't know. It doesn't look promising to me. Whenever you spike really fast away from the 21, it's usually, look, there's some bearish divvy there. We're coming back. I don't know. It doesn't look good right now. It looks like a fake out breakout at the present moment. It might come right back down. You see that? Now I'm like too close to the bone again. If you get follow through, you can. Now I'm like, I don't know, because I could easily get stopped out. It's better, and I'll tell you, like my mama told me. No, but seriously, it's better off to. You don't have to be a legend and catch the bottom. In my humble opinion, not financial advice, but no one has to be a legend and catch the bottom. You just wait for the dust to settle, watch everyone get taken out, and wait for liquidity to come back into the market. Like I said, so you can be one of the people inside of a bigger set of volume. You know what I mean? Battling the thin order book today is like, swimming through sharks with only 100 people when you could swim with like thousands of 100,000 people. So the odds of you getting eaten are way less when there's more people in the water. Agreed? Yeah. So that's just the whole idea. That's all. I'm trying to get you to see it that way, so it'll open up your mind. Follow me on Twitter at CryptoLifer33. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for the love. All right. As we continue to grow, I thank you so much on our way to 40,000 followers there. And thank you for everyone that jumps on in, comments, says what up, and likes the posts, right? I tell stories, talk about my life, give you guys insight. It's pretty awesome. Even put out charts. We're ongoing. Even show you the backyard, smoking a cigar after I win some gains. Just show you, like, it's good to reward yourself when you win. And again, trade isn't huge. Again, remember, it's a smaller trade compared to most of my trades, right? So $780 at 50x. So it just, And would you look at that? I mean, it could. A lack of faith on today. 3-minute has a lot to do with today, and that's got to hold the 200, which is tough. Now the 21 has to somehow touch price and have it not basically lose either support or resistance or the 200. That's not an easy task right there. It's likely not going to hold. But I'm not a magician. I don't know anything for sure. But so far, the odds there, I've looked at that many times in my life, the odds look small. Up, bounce off the 200 there, save the day. Again, there's some hope here that total will stay above the 200 moving average. But look, you can see, look at total making a head and shoulder pattern. It's funny how, like, price action never lies. It's like right there in front of us. People don't want to see it. That looks like it could be a nasty collapse. Black swan event of some type, something happening. It just doesn't, And what happens is, too, these dumps are so crazy that people are like, oh, I can't dump anymore. But, I mean, you'd be surprised. We could take out this wick for sure and really gut the market. I've seen just what you would never want to believe to happen. It can happen. What happens as beginners is our mind is set being in a comfort zone because our whole life we've been giving ourselves comfort, right? That's why we haven't gone to the heights that we wanted to in our lives. For me personally, that was my issue, And so you do the same thing in trading. You want the charts to tell you and to soothe you and be there for you. But you have to come to terms with the facts. And the facts are that, no, it's not happening. You know what I mean? Like, the facts are we're in a sketchy time compared to where we could be before. We're not in, like, think about it. Weeks ago, we were in this uptrend, and I was like, on our way somewhere to a new all-time, whatever. I could go all the way back there on the 3-minute, but point is, we're not where we were even when I went on my way to Singapore. And the whole week I was in Singapore, right? I was like, oh, wow, this is bullish. We're in an uptrend. Looks like we're going to hit an all-time high sometime soon. Funny, Giggle has been very strong compared to the rest of the market. I have to keep saying that. I know I'm not in it yet, but it is one of the swing trades that I'm looking to swing. And every time I look at Giggle, look, it's still, I mean, it's not amazing. But if you look at it's getting oversold on that daily. When I look at the 1 hour time frame, look, it's just really tight, right? Now, it could be in an Adam and Eve too, though. You see that? About to dump. But I'm not in it just yet, but I am watching it. If Bitcoin can just find some solid ground, I feel like Giggle would be the first thing that would actually be like a safer swing trade with some good volume. That's all I'm. And maybe, and I'm not on. I don't have to trade it. I'm just giving you like this is my little lame game plan, my safe bet idea. But anyway, who knows what will happen? I'm not in it yet, and maybe I'll miss out with it, but who knows? I don't know what will happen, I'm just honing in on, I have some idea of opportunity in my mind. I'm plotting somewhere, somehow. I have to have some type of an idea. So we look at this kind of a double bottom, but as I showed you, weak sauce, how the 3-minute, it really needs to get back above that. This has to come up. So far, so good. It's staying above the 200. That's what we're looking for to maintain the trade. Still up $100. We'll see what happens. Could only lose $165 at the present moment. I'm still thinking, do I shave myself back down again? And again, no matter what you do, the idea is just to never change what you say. Like the most I'll lose 350. I'm not going to change that. I'm not going to start dragging it down here. I might move around here, but never change it. No. If you stick to, what you control, which is what you can lose. All right. And look, it's starting to move nice now. Look, it went right to where it was. So, and look, we're getting a power move back to 106. Look at this. Look at this. And this is a tough day to trade, right? A tough market on a Sunday. Look, we're getting a bit of a short squeeze here now for Bitcoin. And now we're getting the squeeze. And you'd think there'd have to be some type of short squeeze eventually. It's just how look, we're up the most we've ever been, $200 on the trade. 215, 220, 28%. 220, 237, 30%, 242, 31%. And that's a big candle there, folks. Very similar to these candles here. Again, that's going to push us away from that 21 on that 3-minuto, but we're getting the bounce. And that's going to drag the 21 up. Now we can, I like it. Cup and handy, Sammy Cup and handy to the upside, baby. Got to give the people some hope. You got to give the people some hope, Sam. You got to fight through the mental pain and make a trade, baby. Show them that anything is possible. I'm doing everything I can. I'm doing everything I can, Sam. Come on, lifer, come through for the people. Again, still a nasty resistance there at 106.4, 106.5. Got to bust through that. 105.5 is some key resistance and support. We stay above that. There's a little bit of copium there. So here we go, right? And there you go. And there you go. And there you go, Barn. So 3 minutes, 221, they still got to meet, right? These are all still false moves. Remember that. And resistance. Somehow there's a big boy. There's resistance here. There's a take profit area for whatever reason at 106.2. Someone's not, we getting basically pushed down every time we get to that area. Tough price action. Let's take a look if anything's kind of sticking out today and doing something different compared to the rest of the market. First thing we look at is crypto bubbles. In the last hour, CFG up a little bit. Zig, Kimono, QRL, Bless, Bard. Nothing too crazy. And basically everything red on the day, almost everything. Bless had that huge pump out of nowhere. So pretty quiet there on the front. Ridge's AI, I remember we talked about it somewhere here in $4. It's at 23. We went over this back in the day, and it was something we went over too during the screen share. Shout out to Scottish Crypto getting again, man. That guy seems to nail those amazing plays. He's did it many times. So pump up a little bit, plasma, but everything basically down in the last 24 hours. Anything sneaking up again? No. I mean, it's red across the board in the crypto space. And look, even Aster, I remember when I bailed out. I'm happy I did. And so it was a short for almost everything in the market. Aerodrone, every single thing took a beat down. Further down. Unbelievable. And Bitcoin now basically hanging on to 106,000. Looks like that's going to be the battle for the next 5 to 10 minutes to see what. Look at Ondo at 69. Jupe at 30. Remember Jupe? Man, Jupe just, wow. Near at 2. Everything is just done. It's cooked again. We're back to the lows we were at like 2-3 years ago. It's just nuts to me. Even anything that was strong. Chainlink back to 16. 24. You were there, right? Wow. Morpho actually up 2% in 7 days. So that's actually doing something. Pax G's up. Zcash is still holding gains from the last week. So that's kind of isn't a don't care moment. I remember COAI, which we looked at a long time ago. That looks strong. I like what we're doing there. That's starting to build. That's showing signs of staying above resistance there and curving up with that 21. That market structure looks strong to me. It looks like we could continue. Look, it's a nice trend. Shows strength up to possibly 107. We may actually win this trade, folks. Another candle closed green. And now we go for our third green candle in a row if we can get it. And see, what I'm doing is, you right click here and you hit labels and go count down to bar close. You want to have that on so you can see when the next bar closes. It's very important. So right now we're 13.56. And we need a green candle here. You don't want to get a bearish engulfer. And again, see how this was a bullish engulfing candle? You could put this red candle inside of that. Let's talk about that. So this closed bullish, which meant the next candle was supposed to be green based on, basically bullish candle structure. If you're just a candlestick trader, if this closes now with the tweezer top anywhere halfway through, no deets. You want to get this 3 white shoulder thing where this closes green. This isn't bad because you'd like a wick, a little bit of a wick. So you want some downside, then you want to get the rip up. You want to leave a wick in the remnants, and then you want to get a pump back to the upside. But you don't want this candle to close with a tweezer top there like it is at the present moment in time, right? So, and again, that goes for a weekly and stuff, but you can study this stuff on the 50-minute, and then you can transcend that to the bigger time frames as well. That way you're not caught off guard when the daily does close like this, and then you have a week of dumping. I mean, it tells you, look, just like this, the weekly will close like this, and then you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9 or 8 to 10 weeks of dump. The daily will close like this. You'll have 8 to 9 days of dumping. And you're big Sam, I'm on the 15. Yes, I'm showing you how the 15-minute can teach you how to trade the bigger time frames. And look at this. I mean, this market is tight. As I showed you, like we need this to dump. We need this to turn into a wick. We're kind of studying, and you can study market structure all the time. And you can always be teaching yourself just certain nuances of how candles are made, what's happening, the ups and downs. It never ends. There's always a day to be here, and there's always a day to learn. And if you believe that there's a day to learn, then today, if you believe today's a day to learn, then it is. Isn't that amazing? If you believe today's the day to mess around and forget about your life and go drink and mess with your friends and give up because, the market just didn't do what you wanted and go use drugs and just walk away, then that's what it is too. Like you're going to convince yourself of whatever you want. So if you have a habit of running away, then that's what you're going to do. If you have a habit of getting into it, then that's what you're going to do. And I'd rather have a habit of getting into it, right? Because what else is going to happen? What else can you do with a market like today? So you either, if you beat yourself up every 5 seconds, then how are you going to make it through? You got to be your best friend in this game. You can't be your worst enemy. You do have to point out your faults and work on them. It's not okay to just keep making the same mistakes and telling yourself that's all right. Like I definitely believe in being hard on yourself, but build up that ability first. Like start working out, become mentally stable, become strong, build endorphins, People say, but I'm depressed, Sam. I can't get out of it. You know, I always believe I'm not worth it, and I keep losing, and my relationship with money sucks, and I get it. I was there. I understand exactly how you feel. I know that feeling 100%. You ever told yourself, I hate money? Oh, I can't stand the system. I don't want to deal with money anymore just because you're so bad with money. You don't. And then you're like, I knew they put us in this game, and it is a game, and they did make it a game. So let's win the video game, whatever game they made. Let's win it. Let's at least win it enough to be comfortable, right? So we don't feel like we're being 100% controlled. To me, that's the game. All right, yeah, it's some type. This money game we're in is some type of video game. It really is. Once you convince yourself money is not real and it's a game, you begin to play the game. But when you're so caught up on money being everything, and it messes with your emotions, it messes with who you are, and it lowers your frequency, and it inhibits your ability to play the game. Interesting, right? So how do we win the game of money? We work on our frequency. I know, and people don't want to hear that. They think I'm a soothsayer talking about magician stuff. And again, to those people, I don't know if I can ever get through to you, because if you don't believe, then you can't. It's like when I first heard a Joe Dispenza video, of course I did not believe him. I thought he was full of old shoes, as my mother would say. Okay? But if I didn't believe in Joe Dispenza, then how could I work on my subconscious mind? Amen, right? So I began to listen to things that at first I knew didn't make complete sense to me. I wasn't always agreeing with. But what did I do? I expanded my own mind, right? And Jim Rohn helped me do what's called neuroplasticity. And that's the ability to change your mindset. You are programmed. I'm sorry to say. But everybody here on this entire, people call this a podcast, YouTube channel, show. Everybody here is conditioned and programmed in some way, shape, or form. At least once we agree with that thesis, we can begin to possibly peel back the layers of programming. I don't think we're all going to peel back every single layer 110%, like 1,000% or whatever, But we can definitely change a good amount of the programming. Like I grew up middle class with Irish guilt, Irish Catholic. You're born with sin. You deserve the pain. All this, like, you know what I mean? Like you born with original sin, You have shame. Shame with your relationship with God has a lot of shame. It's just like, this is just, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to put anyone down, but this is kind of how I was brought up. And my dad, he saw a nice car. Look at that trust fund baby, he would say, right? So I hear trust fund baby at the age of, like, I don't know, 10 years old, 11 years old. I know what a trust fund baby is. Like, what is that, right? Funny, right? And that might offend somebody on this channel. I don't know. I'm just telling you my upbringing. So then I began to have distrust for the rich. Oh, they did something. They were born with it. They had a trust fund waiting for them. Oh, that guy, his dad owned a bunch of stocks in AT&T, my dad said. So he's set for life. He runs around with his big cars, but, he inherited a bunch of money. And again, my dad also then, as he got older, that was the beginning. My dad became a way, more conscious parent as he got older. He began to read in his late 40s and his 50s, and then every couple of weeks he'd be like, here's a book about a guy that lost it all but made millions back. Here's a guy that made millions 3 times, somehow still became, he loved the story about the guy that kept making millions, and eventually made it on top again. Put the whole company up, brokered it all, leveraged it all, went in, went all in, and eventually that last product, kind of like Elon Musk, right? He always talked about how if that last rocket exploded, he would have been cooked, right? And can we get to the level? Can we get the move? Can we make a G today in one of the hardest, toughest markets in the world with the most fear ever, where nobody should be longing at all? And we're getting a little bit of a short squeeze, but we're not getting all the help we need here. It's been tight and tough. But again, the 3-minute fighting off the bears here as the 21 continues to come up to price action. It's been a battle, though. It's been a battle. A battle. And now we're seeing if we can kind of make a flag like this here and get on our way on out of here. Doesn't look amazing. We've been up $200 a couple times. Now only up 70. And the odds are low, right? If I lose this one, I play with my kids for the afternoon and I call it a day. Fridays, man. I do my macro video and I step away from the screen for a little bit. I mean, it's like, You don't want to force it. You got to know when to walk away. You know that song? Know when to hold 'em. Know when to fold 'em. Know when to walk away. Know when to run, right? You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done, right? That's the truth. I mean, there's a lot to be said for that. And again, and for trading. You know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Like there's times when you should stop out and not keep going down with the ship. There's times where you got to know when to hold it and not to let it go, right? And it's like you get better at that over time. So if you're just jumping on into the live stream, welcome. My name's Sam Price, the Crypto Lifer. And we're attempting to catch a bottom here with a bit of what's called a cup and handle pattern, where you'll have a huge cup, and they call me Sammy Cup and Handy. I've been using this pattern for years of my life. I started trading and just buying stocks and stuff when I was in my, beginning to mid-20s, started playing around. I took technical analysis seriously as I got into my late 20s, early 30s. I'm now 42 years old. I was trading for, about 8 or 9 years. And then I got into cryptocurrency in 2016, started looking at little coins. My story basically is, about perseverance and pushing and believing in myself and, always sticking to the plan if I can, having conviction in what I believed in. Doesn't mean I won every single time, but, a lot of my long-term speculative investments did play out for me over time, thank the Lord. And I told people, as I told my group today, I'll make a pretty big statement that kind of shocks a lot of people. But, it's the truth. I said I did not touch a leverage trade until after 9. I'm always typoing, man. I wish I did not. Look, I did not touch a leverage trade until after 9 years of trading. I'd already made over 500K swing trading and over 500K on Bitcoin before I touched the lev trade. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had made enough to at least slowly get myself out of the rat race and do my thing, And I know a lot of people start off and they're like, but I only have $100 and what else can I do? And I just want to let you know, I started off just like you. But here's the deal. I got to get this through. So look, we're holding the 200 on the 3. This is beautiful. Everything's kind of working out for us right now. And that's a bullish engulfer that closes as such. And now we'd be ready for our next green candle on the 15-minute as we talked about, right? And that would be 3 white soldiers, which would then commit us to hopefully another 1 or 2 bigger candles for the blow-off up to possibly the target. We're now back to kind of the highest place we were at in the trade, up about 27%. And this is trading BTCC. I like how they have these nice highlighted, your green take profit, your high. I like this. I think it's red, but it looks more like an orange bright yellow. I like if it's an orange bright yellow more than red, just stands out to me. I really like this. I love it. Good colors, good work. That means a lot to me. These little things are cool. And then how it sticks out here too. This is nice. And it shows me exactly what I'm doing. Shows me my take profit in 2 places, running and gunning. I can move, I like it. I like it. We asked for some of these changes. They were made by BTCC. One other thing, we just want to see this, when you drag this window here, not to have to use advanced to see what your math is. It would be nice just to have it right here, built into here, just like Weeks has it, or BTCC, or BitTunex. That's that last tweak to me, and boom. And so we're leaning on them to say, hey, just these little tweaks for the lifers, man, because I want to make sure it's optimal for my traders and everybody out there. Right? And that's like the last tweak. And it would be like top notch, but it's still it's great. And the liquidity is great. The options are amazing. The freedom is awesome too. All right. So like you can API trade, you can make 1,000 trades in a minute or something like, you don't know. I don't want 1,000 trades in a minute, but you can do what you want here and they don't bug out about it. Right. So I'm a small, you see me, I make 1 trade every couple of hours, maybe 5 or 6 trades a day is a lot for me. So yeah, I don't do any high frequency trading. Right. Some people have bots that like to go in and out every couple, Some people do all sorts of stuff. I have no idea. I mean, the mind is infinite. There's an infinite possibilities and ideas to trade, right? So far, a little bit of a gain. If you took gains, maybe you did already. Maybe you don't trust the market, but you got a little bit of a move there. Congratulations to you, you know. If you're just watching and enjoying the fun and the entertainment of possibly catching this bottom with me, thank you for being here too. And whatever you're doing, I appreciate you for supporting the channel, being amazing, and God bless you. You know, you're a miracle. Everyone here is a miracle. Your parents met, and then they had to make sweet chocolate sauce. Then you were born, right? And then, like, but think about all the things that had to happen. The universe, right? The two people had to meet. Then those two people had to fall in love. Then they, you know, and then you came. It's just like, so for this entire channel to be here, for these super chats to exist on screen from my man Underground Crypto, no matter the market, always a lifer. Thank you. The macro video going to extra enlightening today. 100%. I met Joe Dispenza, changed my life. Much love. See, he did too. You're amazing, Sam. Shout out to Underground Crypto. God bless you, man. Always giving back to people. The Modern Canadian. What would your line in the sand be? Yeah, I think we answered that someone. 108,007. Much love and gratitude to you. God bless you. And then we went over, we should be looking for Adam and Eve, yeah, possibly. Shout out to Cherry City Bullies. Shout out to Andy Yurkovic. Shout out to Sensi Maverick. So, wow, we got our third. That's crazy. 1, 2, 3. It's amazing that we got our third candle to close on the 15-minute, right? And so that's technically 3 white soldiers, and that's a bullish pin bar. You see how it has a big wick to the downside, to the upside? To me, that is a bullish pin bar. So that tells us we you know, many times over, that type of candle closing will give us a follow through. You should be able to take out this wick. And see how you could trade candles alone. Like, see how, you know, I did use some indicators here, stochastic, but for the most part, it was the cup and handle, the old Sammy cup and handy trick, you know? Look, 229 up 30%. The most we've ever been in the trade there, 245, 31, right? I believe that's like the highest we've ever been. And there we go. And possibly go to that wick now and just shave off some risk from 360 to 200. Now it's basically more like a 5-to-1 risk score ratio, you know, only risking 2 for 1,000. The key is to always work on risk management more than anything else that you're doing. 273, look, can we do it again? Can we do it again? Whales switching sides, riding on the shoulders of giants. That's what you got to do, man. I like you saying that means you're a Jim Rohn fan. And what does that mean? He says stand on the shoulders of giants, right? When you listen to Jim Rohn, he read so many Greek philosophy books. He studied many billionaires and multimillionaires. When he talks, his knowledge comes from years of observation. You know what I mean? And I listened to hours and hours of Jim Rohn to the point where he trained my brain. So when you hear us both speak, you're hearing basically inherently, you're hearing some of the greatest knowledge on earth. It sounds, you know what I mean? I never want to actually do that. I don't want to be the, but I'm regurgitating some of the highest frequency knowledge you can hear on earth. I firmly believe that. It helped me. It freed me. You know, the way he spoke to me helped me become who I am today. And I believe it could help you become the person you desire to be every single day of the week. It's not easy. Nobody said it was going to be. It never is. It never was. You know? It never is and it never was. We take it one step at a time, one day at a time, one candle at a time, like I always say. All right? No one became an amazing trader overnight or even in a couple years. Usually it took at least 4 to 5. Ask any serious trader. Nothing happened overnight for them. It took time. It took a lot of time. All right? So. And so, you know, we all rely here again. And let's go back to that, the 3 minute. And so voila, I mean, and again, it kind of looks like we could be in this channel. So sad to say, we could expect to move all the way back down, up and down, and then it could dump on us too. To me, today is really about this 5 minute, 200 moving average. We battled with it here and we're unable to win. That was our way out. There was a chance. We battled with it here and were unable to win. And when we finally get above it and make a clean candle, that's when I'm going to be willing to look for the real reversal. But until then, I don't see it. Right? You're like, but Sam, you're long and you're the highest you've ever been in the trade, 34%. And you're doing great. I get it. But man, I don't get really frazzled by the up and down anymore. I just trade price action like a bop. I mean, there's some 112 liquidity. There's some 109. There's still big red at 100,000. 107,000 looks like we could touch, though. I'm looking for that 108,320. Here's the line in the sand. We're getting to resistance now. If we can plow through resistance, at this point, I mean, most people should be in some gain. Up to you. You know, if you took this, if you have the same education as me, and it made sense to you. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. But if it made sense to you, is anybody in gains right now? Anybody trading right now? Put a 333 if you're up in the trade. Put a 333 if you've moved that stop loss into position. Put a 444 if you've taken trade, if you've taken gains already. I bet some people have already taken gains, right? Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm just in my feelings, questioning a lot in my life. I'm just unsure on life and what I can do to support my family. I'll be okay. I've been there many times, J Soul. Luckily, you know, maybe when I had 1 or 2 kids, I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. Things were tough for me. It always hasn't been a beautiful golden path. I will tell you, my lowest lows created my highest highs for whatever reason, you know, and I don't understand all that, but I prayed to God for strength. He gave me more problems to make me stronger, you know. Someone says, I'm selling Bitcoin with profits for more BNB. That's crazy. Let's take a look at BNB BTC though, because maybe that's not that crazy. I mean, GIGGLE holding 115 is pretty nice. Let's take a look at Binance versus BTC on a big scale here, 3-day chart. I mean, if you look at it, it just technically, so it beat up on Bitcoin from February 2021 all the way until November of 2022, and then it made a bear market against Bitcoin, where then, look, it made an Adam and Eve double bottom. Isn't that crazy? An Adam and Eve, where it actually just positioned itself for its breakout of the neckline, which it usually does retest. I mean, that tells you that it's kind of in an uptrend against BTC, right? I had some Solana entries. Somebody says the pamp is on with excited natures. It's Irish. You have to know when to start looking for the exit, the exiti. And look, they're 1, 2, 3, and then what? This candle closes in 7 minutes and 5 seconds. We're third to the goal right now, up 300. Is that all we should take? I mean, it's getting a little sketchy, no? And the 5-minute is headed to that 200. When we top the 200, that's usually a rejection point. If we're lucky to get that move. Up 41% on the trade now on BTCC. Shout out to anyone that hits the link. If you want to hit the link, we do have it up here in the pinned comments. I believe BTCC is right there. So jump on in today. It's never a straight path up in trading. Then added 40 years. Oh, wow, man, that's crazy. Oh, yeah, some years are tough. Some years are great, right? It's even about the longevity. Like in 10 years, you might have had 2 tough years. You might have had 5 amazing years, right? I mean, that's a monster move there for Bitcoin. We're now breaking above that resistance. Almost want to move that stop loss to break even now. See? Up $14 cover fee and just call it a day. It could probably come right back and grab me out. I make nothing. But this is a strong push right now to the upside for BTC. And we got this cup and handle. And it took a lot for me to get myself mentally ready for these trades and just kind of, you know, and again, even just a little trade. It's like, you know, you ever been a basketball player, the guy keeps missing? You know he can hit deep threes. You know he's got the liquidity, right? You know he can do it, but he just needs to hit a couple free throws to get back in the game, right? He just needs to hit something, right? Then here in Bitcoin says 2012, thought I'd hold to be rich. I'll learn to trade instead after wreckage. I like it. Yeah, I think everybody learns to trade. Every whale is really a trader at the end of the day. Like all the big whales, they take advantage of liquidity, right? They go in at certain times, they sell at certain times. It's always a whale selling the market on us, right? It's like, oh, he did this, he did that, right? I don't know. So when you think about it, it's, I don't know. Look, like it's a type of day where I feel like I should just take those profits. Let's see how the smaller time frame looks again. Yeah, you might get a front run there. You got to come back to the 21 and the 5. Take profits now, and if we get above the 5-minute 200 moving average, I get back in. You know, make sure I get at least $300 out the trade. Three-minute looks promising above the 200 moving average, though. Now that we've got the cross, stop could be below 105.7 or really like 105.6. Let me see. I could keep $100 and stay below that area, I guess. I like where the 3-minute looks promising for somewhat of a continuation. All right. Someone set up $1,000 here. That's awesome. God bless you. You guys are far more aggressive than me. I'm a small-time guy. I take little trades, little mini bitties. I don't need to go crazy. The key is not to lose tons of money. You don't even, at the end of the month, people lose tons of money. You have to remember that. If you're up even a few $100s, you're better than 90% of people. Isn't that crazy? You don't even have to make tons of money. You just have to not lose and be up like $100. And you're better than 95% of people. Look at all those people that just got liquidated. The entire market. They couldn't have liquidated that much money if that many people weren't going, you know, full-blown crazy love. T.O. Malo says, Sam is a great tutor in all aspects. You are lucky to be here. God bless you. Thank you for saying that. That's very nice of you. Shout out to Lindsay Lins. Don't forget to like, smash, and subscribe. If you like what you're seeing here, and you're like, I need more of this, or I don't fully understand, and I'd like to know more, hit the QR code here. I run a class the last Saturday of every month, and I'd love to bring you on in and teach you a lot. And I can do that for $150 for 3 hours. People pay $300 for 1 hour of my time, so imagine that. You do share it with a group, but it's amazing. And we usually have an amazing group of people. It's really great. We ask questions at the end. We have a really good time. And hit the QR code if you want to hang out with me the last Saturday of this month and find out more. All right? And if you got wrecked and you need more information, sign up. Right? If you don't have the education, sign up. If you yearn for more, sign up. If you know there's something else you're lacking and you got that yearning for more, sign up. I believe I get so many good testimonials from that, and they say, Sam, this was amazing. So from what the people tell me, I continue to advertise it because so many people tell me it was an amazing class. So listen to the people, listen to what they tell you and what they tell me. All right? It is what it is. Just a slow grind back to the upside here. Someone says this is the bottom for the rest of the year. Maybe not new all-time high, but real probability for a slow grind all the way to 118, 120. I say gamble. I don't know, man. Shout out to you. Be careful with the profanity there, but God bless you. I know how you feel. I thank God every day I show up and see all of you blessed souls. What an amazing group. Seriously, God bless you, Lindsay Lins. Thank you. Shout out to Lucas Balasianos. If you average management, you never lose all your money, 100%. Sam, how much money do you make a year from daily trading like this? It's none of your business. If I told you, it wouldn't be nice. All right. It's the beginning of a bear market. Yeah, you never want to know You never want to sniff another man's wallet, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. Here we are getting the bounce back to the upside here for Bitcoin. And honestly, $500 in a day like today would be pretty nice. It's been high risk as it is for BTC. I like how it's starting to flatten out so we can make a flag sideways to continue to pump. And the shorts are getting rocked right now yet again. And that's a vibration likely up to 107,000. You see that? And here we go with a nice pump to the upside, 464, 470 for BTC. And now you're in the money. If you took this trade, you're now feeling that like kind of adrenaline from winning. You're getting that green vibe, right? A win is a win is a win is a win, baby. Right? And the 3-minute held, it's really far from the 21. And we're about to tap the 200. I would be getting out there with my profits. I'll take my 450 real quick there because we're, and then I can trade the next flag on the 5-minute. Maybe we continue to pump, but it's unlikely. Right? See if I should be taken out there on that trade. Still in somehow. I mean, which is awesome, but wow, that's a nice pump. Oh, now, see, I am out. See, it's like, wow, look at that pump, though. And now we go right to 170, 107. There's the pump. Oh, man. Look at that puppy. And now you're in the money, everybody. Congratulations. I gave you a nice little move to the upside. Sammy did it again. The everyday hitter, never quitter, somehow, some way believed in himself. And could we get all the way to the target at 108? Now it looks like it's possible. Man, what a banana. I know, right? What up, Liver? Shout out to Jose. Shout out to everyone that took gains right here on the stream. What a way to end the stream, 12 o'clock, with the trade winning. Oh, man, I fight through every single day for these moments. God bless you all. Shout out to anyone that may have signed up to BTCC today. God bless you. We thank you. And they're doing a Halloween event. Just whoever signs up, you're going to get like a bonus package of Halloween merch. And, a futures bonus too as well. All you got to do is just trade with the link. You might be in already or you might be adding in. But yeah, they're just going to do something cool for Halloween for the lifers. You're going to get like this BTC lifer merch patch or, merchandise Halloween packager. So check that out. It'll be pretty fun. You might really like that. So, yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Great gains. Just banked 400 and still in the trade. Stop move to 106. Thank you, Sammy. Hey, God bless you. And look at that thing, 107.2, just as I was like about, oh man, it's so funny, right? Just as but I smelled a pump there. And the cup and handle starting to play out on the 15-minute. Look at that. The 3 white soldiers and the continuation from the pin bar. Everything played out as we talked about as the candle structure, too. We got the bullish engulfer, the 3 white soldiers, the bullish pindar, and we got the connection up to the upside. We stayed above the 200 moving average on the 3-minute time frame. Talked about how that's oh so important, right? We got the 21 to cross. At this point, we're getting a little extended, though, per my, This continues to pump. Usually there's a rejection there. I'm surprised that we pumped that hard. But now we're just, now we got to connect back to the 21-day moving average. We can continue to wreck these shorts. We get that move. It's crazy. Bitcoin was just 103. It's up $4,000. What an amazing asset to trade, right? Look, it's at 107.3 now, continuing to pump to the upside. For a second, I was still in the trade, right? I was like, yes. But I did my job. I called a perfect entry right there at 105.376. I waited so long to get in. Right when I got in, and it was nailed. So, right. Someone says, I was scared. Yeah. Shout out to all the people in with me that watch these shorts get flattened. 107,400 for Bitcoin. It continues to rip. Man. Dear Lord, thank you for the wins I just took. And thank you for helping anybody learn and understand the sauce. That was a cup and handle that's doing damage. The target is 108,279. Like I should have just waited my turn. Oh my gosh, he's ripping. Eat the 4K, push Bitcoin to 111.2. Pay the trader, baby. Hey, I woke up with a dream of Bitcoin pumping around 67. Wish I would have gotten up and looked at the chart. Got lazy and went back to sleep. I wake up early every day and keep it moving, man. I don't got a choice. There's the lifers waiting for an update. There's a group. There's the markets waiting for me 7 days a week. Look at this pump. Oh my gosh, it's got to cool down at one point. Figure there's got to be a flag here on the 5. What an extensive move. Profit is profit. It is though, right? Put a 333 if you made gains on the pump to the upside here on a Friday. And if you like this, and when I leave, you're going to be left like, well, what now? Well, go to cryptolifer.com, and the party never ends. Hit the subscribe button and join. You know, pay the monthly, quarterly, or the annual fee to hang out with me. It's less than $3 a day to get the knowledge of a man that's been trading dang near 20 years. And stuff that you just saw right now happens all the time inside that group. And you'll learn the ways of the way, right? The ways of the lifer. Again, beautiful move there. Now we need to do the same thing the 3-minute just did. We need to stay above the 200 as the 21 has to catch up the price. We need to stay above the 200 as the 21 catches up with the 5-minute time frame, and we could continue this move to the upside to the target at 108,800, right? I wake up knowing I'm not alone in this market with the lifers. I may be a pseudo lurker, but this is informative and I'm lifting. I love my group. God bless you. Thank you. All right. Just made $62. Thank you, Sammy. God bless you. Shout out to all the 333 people in the group there out here. God bless you all. Thank you for being here with me. And you know, the people that win are the people that never give up. All right. A winner is someone that just never gave up. Losers are people that decided that they couldn't keep going and they stopped. My microphone is unmuted but has no signal. What the heck? Check. Are you guys hearing me on the mic? Yeah. Everything just crossed over on the 5-minute. Yeah, we might be getting a little reversal back up here to the upside. It's all about the 200 moving average. Once you catch on, you can start to kind of grip back up. I teach you guys how it happened. Look, this all started with the 1 minute getting above the 200 right there. That was the first trade, and then bang. You could still be in that trade technically ripping to the upside. That's what I keep learning about my sauce, right? It's even more powerful than I learned. When I started, I had no idea how powerful the sauce that I started playing with was. Now it's like fire. I'm like, whoa. I was playing with like sorcery, and I didn't even know I was. You know what I mean? It's like the power of this is insane of what I uncovered. Shout out to anyone that may have got that reversal with me to the upside, and now there may be more coming for BTC. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. I thank you so much for being here. I could be live all day long, but I must take a break for my old eyes, my 42-year-old eyes. But may God bless you. Flag out that 5-minute. Look for the 21 to catch above the 200 moving average. And it looks like we may have some more gains coming our way. Stay focused. Stay amazing. Stay diligent. Believe in yourself. And the world is yours. Believe there's opportunity coming for you every single day, and there is. You are the opportunist. You are the futurist. You create all the opportunities in your life. If you start thinking that it's not happening for you, then it's not. You must get out of your mindset and open up your brain. Your brain is the guidance. Your brain is the flow. Your brain is basically Aladdin's carpet to the higher levels and realms of life. Take your brain to that higher level, higher your frequency. You can do it through working out and raising your vibration. Staying inside the zone. Stay away from the news, negative stuff. Don't read about all that nonsense that happens every day that they try to bog you down. Go out in nature. Raise your vibration. Stay around water if you can. The ocean is beautiful. Breathe in the air. Do whatever you can to cleanse yourself, especially during these times. You consume yourself with money, then you'll be depressed if your account's up or down. Your frequency will lower and your way of life will be down. If you believe that money is just a game, it doesn't exist, but you're the creation of it all. Everything flows through you. You are energetic. You're going to be on the right path to winning. God bless you all. I love you. I thank you so much for being here and always being here for me, no matter what. One of the biggest streams we ever had. Thank you so much. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the love. Let me double check one more time on that fan funding. Yeah, and everything is kind of right where it was. We looked at every super chat. We love you all. We appreciate you. We'll see you later on for the macro analysis video. God bless you. Thank you so much. And there's no words of gratitude I could truly give to you guys. So I just show up every single day. My behavior and my actions hopefully show you why I'm so grateful for being here. I could say it all I want, but I'd rather just do it.